All right, welcome to another episode. I think I'm putting this as 41, episode 41, and I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, here we go. Oi. All right, so I'm going to try to get to this quick. There's a lot, and I don't want to go over 30 minutes. Yeah, good luck with that, right? Okay, so the it's been 8 days. I was trying to do it less than that, but you know how that goes. Okay, so um things have happened. We're no closer to going to the bank, in my opinion. Um there's some new things that may cause a delay. I'll cover that. Most part, everything, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say everything's good. I don't feel as secure today saying everything's good as I have in the past. Okay, and we'll get to that. This is my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog, and you can find the blog, which today you're going to want to go to the blog to see the stuff some of it that I'm going to show you. Okay, and the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. Then also, there's a video which you could just watch the video, I guess. And the video is at Spotify.com. Spotify.com. And that would be my FX Buddies, RSS.com. Hey, I have new people, new listeners. Poland, and I want to say welcome. Where was the other country? I wrote it down, but I scribble stuff all the time. But I do know Poland. I want to say Ethiopia, but I don't think it was. But anyway, I have new listeners. It is Ethiopia. Yeah. So RSS.com goes to Ethiopia, and I have 2 listeners there. So thank you. Welcome. And I didn't check Poland because Poland didn't seem as, I was like, oh, Poland. But when I saw Ethiopia, I was like, Ethiopia. Anyway, all right. So we're going to get started. But everything is, I don't want to get you depressed or whatever. Anyway, I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so a lot happened over the weekend. There was stuff that happened during the week, but over the weekend there was a lot. Okay, so you see the title of this is a statement from the central bank regarding the campaign to support, it should say Iraqi dinar. I'll change that there. The Iraqi dinar. But anyway, and that picture I've used, it goes to a different story. And I am excited about that story. Okay, let me watch my time. Okay, so Sunday, the deputy governor of the Central Bank of Iraq came out and said he announced the success of the campaign to support the dinar, and while confirming the application of controls that helped stabilize the exchange rate, he pointed out that there is no problem with the amount of foreign currency supply. Now this is kind of a long article. They're saying that they have the largest possible number of merchants and individuals who are allowed to obtain foreign currency. Accelerating procedures was an additional factor in improving confidence in the electronic platform. So that's the new way everyone is supposed to make payments, right? And the private sector, they're still upset about prices, right? And he continued, activating electronic payment in all sectors and commercial stores takes some time. Because remember, they wanted it all by June 1st. They wanted the whole country to be on point of sale machines June 1st. We knew that wasn't going to happen, but they have made much headway with that. So they put that out like, yay, look at us, we're done. We have managed, um, we have supported the dinar. Okay, if you have, why is the dollar still selling for 14.90, 14.80, right? So I don't know. Maybe they're calling those things that are not as though they are. Some people will know what I'm talking about. Maybe they're speaking positive. I don't know. Or maybe they know something's coming in the next couple of days or so, right? So, but it was nice to see that. I will admit it was nice to see that. Okay. So one of the reasons people ask me, why do you think it's not going to go until September? And I say because they have to pass laws. This is one of the laws. The oil and gas law will see the light soon. And we know soon means absolutely nothing in Iraq, right? So lots of articles out over the weekend. They even have a new version of the oil and gas law. But guess what? That version's ready to go also. So that's just one. And this came out July 15th. This was so the whole weekend of the 15th, 16th, and then some of these articles are from today as well. All right, so that was that. Here is now there's a development that may cause a problem. I'm just gonna tell you. So we know we have sanctions on Iran. We don't want them getting dollars. Well, Iraq needs to pay Iran for electricity. And if you follow articles outside of what I share with you, you probably saw, oh, Iraq has paid Iran $10 billion. Well, yes, but Iran did not receive it because it wasn't in dollars. And it was even offered, well, take it in dinar. And they said no. So Iraq went to us, whoever the ambassador or whoever, and was like, we really need to get this money to Iran because they're going to cut off our gas. So somehow they send liquid gas to Iraq, and Iraq turns that into electricity. Okay? And sure enough, that's what Iran did. Okay, they didn't say they cut it off. They said, oh, we don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it's just not working. But they did. They shut it off. So, Sudani says, you know what? Let's swap. We have all this oil, and we have something called black oil. So, let's swap our oil for your gas. And they even got, I believe, well, yeah, it's even in one of the articles. They even discussed this with Saudi Arabia's energy minister, my favorite energy minister in the world. I can't remember his name. So there was a meeting about OPEC because OPEC has now been around for 60 years. OPEC started in Iraq with us. So they had this meeting, and it was made a very big deal that Iraq's oil minister had a solo meeting by himself with Saudi Arabia's energy minister. Closed door. We don't know what they talked about. Well, we do now. So even they talked to Saudi Arabia and was like, hey, we want to do this. And Saudi Arabia said, fine, go ahead and do it. So there's lots of articles about that back and forth in their country. They have politicians saying you shouldn't have done that. It's going to be against sanctions. It's gonna fall under that sanctions thing. Then some people are like, no, it was very smart. Plus, Sudani said, I already checked. I'm not breaking any laws by doing this. So this is what we're going to do. And it is, hey, basically we told them, you know what, do what you need to do. And they did what they need to do. and now we're not happy about it. Well, we haven't given a formal comment. As a matter of fact, the formal comment was, there is no comment, and we direct you back to the government of Iraq. That was our comment, okay? But so over the weekend, Britain is talking to Kurdistan. Either one of them is there with the other. That doesn't matter. But here's the title of the article. Kurdistan's dealmaker in Britain talks about big changes taking place far from America's sight. Ha! So I don't think we knew they were going to do it. That's just one headline. And the article's here if you want to read it. And you should, because it's not yet, but this could be a problem. The United States. Now, these are former U.S. officials are saying, yes, the agreement to swap Iraqi oil for Iranian gas violates sanctions. But it doesn't. And I'll tell you where if I was a criminal, where I would see this was not good. Because this is outside of the box, there's no electronic system to monitor it. So it's going to have to be someone's word of mouth. It's probably going to be kept by hand. And they can say, oh, we sent, okay, matter of fact, they have numbers. So someone calculated 165,000 barrels of oil per day and 21,000 tons of, I believe, the black oil, which I don't know what the difference is. That's what they need to send them per day. So what's to stop Iraq from sending 180,000 barrels and 25 tons, and Iran saying, oh, well, we only received 165 and 21, so Iran has some extra stuff they can go sell. And already Iran is trying to sell to India. And India is like, okay, yeah, we'll buy your oil that you're getting outside of America's wishes. But we want to use rupee. We're not going to give you dollars either. See, India is playing sides. Both, they're what is it? They're walking on the line, right? They're very tiptoeing on that line. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. But so that is one article, and like I said, they're formal officials, right? But here, the formal official added, the former official added that this may provide enough room for maneuver for the United States to turn a blind eye, but it is a political decision, not a legal issue. So to me, that says, even they're saying, well, it doesn't really break any laws, but politically we don't like it. That's what I think that says. But that's an issue. That's something that we could hold over Iraq and saying, we don't like this deal that you did with Iran, so we're going to hold off on RVing your money. We're just gangster like that. I'm sorry. I know it hurts to think that our government would do that, but if you haven't read or at least watched on YouTube Confessions of an Economic Hitman, you should, and you'll know that's how they play nations against nation for money. All right, Parliament is back, and they had some sessions. They've read some laws, nothing that we are going to go to the bank on, but they are back and they are working. And here's another article saying there's hundreds of draft laws that have been suspended for more than 2 years. So that's why I'm saying those deals need to go with the rate. In my opinion, those laws need to go with the rate. So that's what I think we're waiting for. Unless, of course, whoever has the power to let this go, they could let it go at any time. But it would leave open some very big vulnerabilities to business and investment, right? Okay, here is the oil company. Iraq's production may be affected by the oil for gas agreement. So they're saying, hey, you can't just do that. If you're giving them oil, you might be taking away from our share of oil, which they're not. I'm sure it's Sudani. They know, what do they say? Iraq is on a sea of oil, right? So they're not, they probably just are mad because maybe they're not getting a cut of it. But okay, this is what I am excited about. So, the Central Bank of Iraq participates in the opening of the 6th annual conference on finance and banking services. So, this is they talked about the ATMs. They talked about stuff coming in the coming period, 2,000 more ATMs, right? All the stuff. I just bet you they talked about the lower denominations, but at the same time, there was a good amount of people there, and I don't see them that many people keeping everything a secret. I'm sorry if you're watching this video. Ooh, this right here is a great article. The window of Iran and the door of Iraq. And guess who's in this picture? Maliki and Obama. So it is talking about how crooked Maliki is and that he worked both sides. He worked America and he worked Iran. So yeah, good article to read. Okay, but anyway, so I'm trying to find the reason I think you may want to go to the blog are these videos. Here's another thing. Something happened with the currency. Okay, but the reserves. These images, this image right here is from that expo that they had, and you can see all the people who sponsored. They had a bunch of people sponsor this. Now, you know what? Let me see. I think it would be better. Well, you're going to have to go watch the video. I'm running out of time. We're already at 17 minutes. So they had meetings. They had lots of meetings. Here's the governor of the CBI. They're doing training again. And there he is. Look, another short man. I don't understand. Nothing against short men. But, man, they are in a lot of powerful positions. All right. Ooh, look how big this font is. Anyway, the American greenback eludes the 1,500. I know this says 150,000, but that's to $100. So if you take off 2 zeros from the 100, it becomes $1, and then take off 2 zeros from this 150,000, and it becomes 1,500. So they're saying in this article, they're saying, well, that's why we've been so successful keeping the dollar rate stable because it hasn't reached 1,500. But it was. It was 1,500 just 3 days ago. So anyway, oh my gosh. I can't get here. Here's the Iran oil gas swap to continue to the end of 2023. So first it came out, it didn't have many details. If you go there and read that article, it has the details. Oh, come on. Where is this? I know it's on here because I put it on here. Wow. Okay, here we go. So I can't hit play, but look at this. They got a booklet. Man, I wish I could see what was in this booklet. So if you watch this video, no, this one, you'll see they were all excited looking at the booklet. If you ever were in high school and towards the end of the year, you got your yearbook and we were all excited looking through the pictures, looking for, whoever, yourself or whoever. That's how they were. They were giddy with this booklet and showing each other it. So I really want to know what was in there. Okay. And this is the logo um 1320, which I believe is the rate. And I'm like, really? Are you really celebrating 1320? But here is the 1,000 dinar note, and it's vertically for people who are just listening. It's laying vertically, but also they have cut out a little pyramid at the end. So I'm wondering, what could go in that little pyramid? But so the theme of this was our dinar is our economy. So it was an international fair that ran 2 days, the 15th and the 17th. Or is that 3 days? 15, 16, 17, that's 3 days, right? So yeah, and there's not really a whole lot of articles. I'm sorry, it's noisy. I have my window open. But let's see. Okay, we're at 20 minutes. So the central bank is following up on the field of bank reform strategy. So they're still working on that. Here is the reason the oil and gas law is so important. Aliyah Nassif, that's the lady's name I couldn't think of this morning. She was interviewed and she's quoted, "Some people's talk about the legislation of the oil and gas law are mere claims, auctions, and media statements." She added, "The legislation of the oil and gas law will contribute significantly to making the wealth return to all the Iraqi people fairly." So I believe they need a rate to know how to distribute the wealth fairly. And as long as I've been in this, which is never you mind how long, but it's been long, this has been the argument. They can't do the rate without the HCL or oil and gas law, or they can't do the oil and gas law without the rate. So we shall see. And they do, of course, it's urgent. This is top priority. But in the articles, it says they're going to get it done in the next parliamentary session. Not the meeting, not the next period. Sorry, not session. Session is each meeting. It says period. Well, guess what? This period lasts 3 months. So they work 3 months, they take a month off. Okay, so let's see. What else? Here's another article about the oil and gas law. The oil and gas law is in the final touches. We will not compromise this time. So someone was compromising before and now they're like, nope, we're not compromising. We're just dotting I's and crossing T's, as they say. So we'll see. We shall see. Here's another article about the money for the deal. Oh no, that's that one. For the oil and gas law. Okay, now since we're at 23 minutes, like I said, you really should go. I am going to have those videos there so you can, the videos are in Arabic, but you can see the people, you can see their excitement, you can see how big this event was. They were passing out stuff. They were giving them, they were getting debit cards while they were there. So this was a big event and I really am happy about that. Okay, now I showed you. Okay, the other thing that happened today was the Kurdistan region. If you don't know, the Baghdad region, Sadani, he already said, I'm going to appeal 12 parts of the budget, 6 articles and 6 paragraphs. Well, the federal court came back and said, forget your paragraphs. You can't have those. But we will look at these 6 articles. But of course, there's all these articles saying, no, it's not going to hold anything up. It doesn't matter. But we're still waiting for something, right? So it probably does matter. So the federal court made their decision. Here, let me I'm going to pause right here on my one commercial while I'm talking to you. So that's done, but then today the Kurds say, oh, guess what? We're going to file an appeal. So that's the new thing today that I think could cause a delay. I don't know that, but I think that they just filed it today, so we'll find out more tomorrow probably. Maybe they'll throw it out. Maybe they'll fast track it. I don't know, but we'll find out tomorrow probably what the outcome will be. So that's one delay. Now, the other, okay, Sadar and Maliki are having this knockout, drag down fight in the media. Somebody bombed somewhere one of Sadar's places where they worship. So he was mad about that, but he didn't call his people to the streets or anything. He is in the media saying, what kind of Muslim does this to another Muslim? Like shame on you, right? And Maliki's like, you can't prove I did it. And the framework is like, I don't know, Maliki, you might not want to mess with Sadar. And Sadani is not saying a word. Sadani is like, I just want to get my program running. I'm just trying to get this government going and get my program going. So he's not saying anything either way. But so there's nothing in the streets, but it has the potential. We know Sadar will have 1 million or 2 people in the streets in a minute. So I'm kind of watching that. But I think Sadar wants the money done. Remember, that was one of the first things he said he would get done was, there would be a fair value to the money or something. I can't remember what he said, but when he won, the second thing that he talked about was something with the money. So I think Sadar sees how close they are to getting things completed, and he doesn't want to mess it up. But, Maliki's just evil. Maliki's messing with everybody. Everybody who he thinks is going to run again. He's messing with. He tried to put Kazemi in jail. He did get Kazemi's money frozen. He's trying to put him in jail. They're trying to get rid of Halabusi. They're trying to get rid of Amiri. Everyone who's run, he's trying to either make them say they won't run or get them in jail. Sadani came out today and said he's not running in the next election. He's focusing on getting his government program running. Okay, so that's another little thing that's in the background that I'm watching. And something that I've been watching, I've been saying there's something going on in Syria. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Well, I know now. So Kurdistan apparently, for some reason, has an interest in some part of the oil in Syria. Okay, we, the United States, helps protect Kurdistan's interests in Syria's oil. Well, we've been sending more military stuff, tanks, munitions, people, whatever, right? We've been sending more to that area. So Assad is like, hey, I don't like that. I got some friends that got some military stuff too. You know who his friend is? Yes, Putin. So Russia is there defending Syria's interest in their own oil. Now, we got a little something else going on with Russia, right? So I do believe it was escalating. Sadani did go to Syria over the weekend and met with Assad. There's an article. You know what? I will put it post-production, like I say. I'll put it at the very bottom. I didn't know if I was going to have time to cover it. I am worried about this. I will say I do see a potential for it to just mess up everything. But maybe Sudani's trip there, it was with our blessing. If you read that article, it will show you he did go over to mediate between us and Russia through Assad. So my suspicions were correct. It was escalating. I just didn't know that Russia was the one protecting. Because I really don't care. I don't care to know all this stuff. I really don't. But when you're watching a country, you're waiting for their money, right? You have to watch everything. So that all came together, and that's it. Everything else is good. I mean, it's we're still waiting. Tomorrow they're supposed to announce the allocations for the budget, the instructions and allocations. So we'll see. They said on July 18th. Tomorrow's July 18th. We'll see if they do. I will do another post. I promise if they do announce it, I will post. But for now, that's everything that I'm watching. Um, I'm strictly articles. I don't have contacts. I don't have bank contacts. I just go by the articles. So, if no war breaks out in Syria, and if Sadar remains calm, if he remains the bigger person, I think we could still be done by September. That's me. That's my timeline, right? But I will continue to watch every day. Okay, so we're over 30 minutes. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, it's mostly all good. There's nothing saying they're not trying to move forward, right? So that's what's good. So I will close with thank you. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever. If you have a subscribe, join, whatever. If there's some kind of button there like that, click that, because I don't post regularly. And if technology works like it's intended to, when I do post, you'll be notified. All right. Thank you. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. And enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're watching or listening or whatever you're doing to this. I hope it was helpful, and until next time.